Hello there, and welcome to the Potent Puffin Podcast. And I'm your host, Jake Thomas. And sitting here beside me is Kita, the Elk Hound. And if you hear any rustling around in the background, that's probably going to be Copper the French Bulldog and Tana the German Shepherd Lab mix. The two little puppies. And they are energetic and wrestling around the floor right now. Now, this week has been pretty cool. I had something really exciting happen the other day. One of my co-workers, someone she knew gave her a bunch of football cards. And she knows that, I like football and I like collecting football cards. So she let me go through them and she let me take any of the ones that I wanted. And there was probably close to 1,000 cards in this box that she had. And luckily they're all, in sleeves and they're really taken care of really nicely. And so it didn't really take me too long, about an hour to go through. And I found probably about 40 cards that I ended up taking. And most of them were Saints players because I'm a big New Orleans Saints fan. But I thought it was really cool because, I think the oldest one was like 88 or 89. There were quite a few that were early 90s and some mid 90s, and then a good bulk of them was like the early 2000s. But I thought it was really, really cool because a lot of these players I haven't heard their names in years. And so it's really cool to kind of go down memory lane, not only with the cards that that she let me take, but like looking at some of the other ones that were in this collection. It was just a lot of fun because, sometimes you forget about some of those guys and you see them again on the cards and it takes you back to a different time. And it's like, oh man, I can't realize it's been 10 years since they were playing in the NFL. And so that was really cool. I got a couple Jake Delhomme rookie cards. And Jake Delhomme was always kind of like a cool, sports hero of mine. I remember in 2005, I believe it was, might have been '04, but the Saints had a game, and I've always just called it the We Want Jake game because the crowd started chanting "We Want Jake" because the coach wouldn't pull Aaron Brooks, and it made the Times Picadoo, and on the front page, and my uncle sent me a copy of it. And so I had this newspaper hung on my wall for years. And I think it's in my uncle's garage now. I think he has it hanging up in his little man cave in there with his Corvette and whatnot and all his cool Corvette stuff. But that was cool. Getting the rookie cards for Jake Delhomme. I thought that was really cool. And then, yeah. So that was cool. And that was a neat thing that happened this week, and I really enjoyed it. And I called my brother, talked to him about it. We had a little run down memory lane with some of these guys. And, yeah. But thinking about, my uncle getting that newspaper clipping, man, that kind of brings back a different time. Growing up, my uncle, he moved around doing different jobs, working nuclear power plants, welding, pipe fitting stuff. And my mom's family, they're all from Delhomme Springs area, Louisiana. And so my uncle, he used to go to LSU games on Saturday and then make the Saints game in New Orleans on Sunday. And I remember, it was always a big deal, especially with the Saints, because they were on TV less than LSU was. And he would call us from inside the dome and, tell us what was happening. And if it was on TV, we'd know what was going to happen before it happened on TV because there's that slight broadcasting delay. And I always thought that was the coolest thing ever when he would do that. And yeah, especially those few years before the Sean Payton, Drew Brees years, Like, it just had a different feel to it, but like, it was really cool. But definitely, I love the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. It's kind of weird because that kind of like marks like when that kind of stuff kind of stopped happening with Uncle, because he moved to Arkansas around that time, and so it was kind of like weird and cool seeing how like before, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, I had a lot of these times where I was talking to my uncle on the phone while he was in the dome, and he'd always tell us about it, and then during the majority of the Peyton Breeze era, we're watching these games together on TV, and Saints games were always a huge thing for me growing up, because it was always a party at somebody's house, always, and so that was really cool. I mean, yeah, so it was really cool to kind of like go down that little time capsule, if you will, and just hear, or not hear, but see. But it's just neat how these cards kind of made like a little time capsule in so many ways, and brings back a lot of nostalgic feelings. And that was really cool. And then another big thing this week is last Saturday, Kalsin had his first hockey game. And so that was cool. I did it. I wasn't there. My wife watched. My wife was there, but I was at work. But she sent me videos, and that was cool. He told me he scored 2 goals. He wanted to score 5, but the refs wouldn't let him. He told me that he thought that was rude of the refs. I just kind of laughed. But hockey, man, that dude is hockey, man. He is all about the hockey. He got some new rollerblades. So the spring, he can keep being on skates once the ice rink's gone. But he's wearing those around the house all the time. He doesn't take them off, and like he puts on all his hockey gear with his rollerblades, and he's just going around the house with his stick. He's like wanting to play hockey in the house pretty much, and it's pretty cool because he'll like make goals in his mind. Like he'll find like a little area, like the hallway, and he'll be like, all right, the entrance to the hallway is the goal, and he'll practice shooting. I think it's just so cool. This kid's just so pumped up about hockey. And so we went to a Kraken game a few months back, and so he's all about the Kraken. And they're hardly on TV, or at least where we are. We don't get the local Seattle channels to watch them. But the other night they were on Hulu, so we were able to watch the game, and he was so excited. The kid just like, he's on his skates and got his gear on, and he sees the game, and he like throws his stick above his head and is like waving it around like a Tusken Raider, and he's just like, "Let's go Kraken!" And he's like, "Hockey! Hockey!" And he's just so excited to be watching hockey on TV. It's just the coolest thing ever. And I kind of, hope that like as he grows bigger, maybe watching those games together will be kind of similar to what I experienced growing up watching the Saints play. Different sport, but same concept, So, kind of, I think that's cool, and it's something I look forward to as he grows. And hopefully I'll be able to get some time off next month to make a couple of his games and see him play. I go to about half of his practices with him, and it's always fun doing that. Just see him out there, and he's just having a ball when he's on the ice. It's his favorite thing. I mean, if he could, I think he would play hockey all day long and never stop. But yeah, so that's kind of been what's going on the past like week or so. Just some neat things, and I got to thinking with these the football cards, man. I used to collect when I was in high school, and then like when I joined the Coast Guard, I kind of stopped. I didn't bring my football card collection with me, and then I kind of like started collecting again for a little bit a few years ago, and it just kind of fizzled because just life. There's more important things to do. But hopefully I can get back into collecting football cards again. I'm thinking about maybe doing some like live streaming, like pack openings. I don't know. Maybe see about doing it on Twitch or YouTube. I'm not sure. But if you think that might be something that you'd be interested in seeing, leave a comment or, make mention on social media to me. Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, Potent Puffin. Any of those places work. If you think that'd be something you'd be interested in watching, let me know. So I think it'd be cool to maybe find some old packs on eBay and open them and talk about the history of that player. Or same thing with newer packs. We speculate about where they might be going in the future, if it's a rookie or first, second year player, or if it's a older player in the league. Talk about how cool it's been watching them throughout their career, kind of thing. But yeah, if you think that'd be something you'd be interested in watching, let me know, and hopefully I'll get something going pretty soon. But yeah. Not too much. Short episode this week, but if you enjoyed, subscribe, give a like, review, leave a comment, any of that cool stuff. And I'll catch you all next time. And yeah, hope you all have a great week.